You may remember last year I posted a video where I declared the Danalock V3 Smart Lock as the worst smart home gadget ever. Well, I've been desperate to get rid of it, and SwitchBot have finally given me the excuse I needed. SwitchBot have sent me their new Lock Pro, which is a really great retrofit smart lock with some amazing features. The SwitchBot Lock Pro is designed to turn your regular cylinder lock into a smart lock. So if you have a compatible lock and you can check compatibility on their website, then the whole installation process should only take a few minutes. The lock itself uses Bluetooth to communicate with your phone, but you can use a SwitchBot hub to enable all of the additional smart features, like remote control of the lock away from home and Matter support, which will connect it to Home Assistant or Apple Home. But more about that later, because I want to now show you the installation process. Because I had an existing non-standard smart lock fitted, I had to do a bit of extra work replacing the lock cylinder and the inside handle. So this here is the lock that we're going to be replacing today. It's an Ultion Smart that's quite a few years old. I've got to replace them because this is a custom molded handle specially for the Danalock, and the cylinder, which I'll show you in a bit once I've removed that, is also quite custom just for this Danalock. So I've bought a new cylinder which is from Yale, and the reason I've chosen this one is because you can put the key on the outside and turn it while the thumb turn on the inside also turns. I will put a link to this particular lock down in the description so as you can see which one I'm using, so as you'll know it's suitable for the job. So the first job is going to be to remove these handles, fit the new cylinder and make this look like a normal non-smart door. So this is the old cylinder, and as you can see it's got a key on the outside and a custom little tag thing on the inside. It's not quite like a thumb twist, but it does the similar job. Before I start installing this, I'm going to remove the thumb twist off the Yale lock, and that just uses a really small Allen key there. I just twist that a little bit and it pulls out this barrel, and that comes off. Now this little bit here, it's very important you keep that because you're going to need that to fit an adapter on the lock itself. There we go. So changing the cylinder is super easy. It literally took me a couple of minutes. I mean, you sort of watched it, not quite in real time. Lock and the handle are back to normal standard non-smart mode, ready to fit the SwitchBot Lock Pro on. You can see I've gone for a black handle, and apparently I've been told by household management that that was the wrong choice. I should have gone for a gold one like the old one, so I am going to have to change that back over at some point, but not for this video. I thought the black would go quite nice with the smart lock. I've got to do a bit of painting as well because the old handle was a bit bigger, so I'm going to have to do a bit of decorating on this door. And here is the thumb twist. I just put that on there to show you, but I'm not going to leave that fitted. I'm going to take that off and let's start fitting the smart lock. So if you're fitting this on a thumb twist lock, you'll need to get an adapter, and they supply all of these little adapters in the box, and you can see here I've got a Yale lock, so I need adapter number 7. If you're using a key on the inside, then you don't need one of these. These are specifically just for thumb twists. So you take the thumb twist off and you fit one of these adapters instead. This is adapter number 7. You can see it says 7 on the top there, and that's going to screw over the top of the thumb twist on the inside, and it's going to use that little screw fitting, that little Allen key fitting to hold it in place. So I'm going to do that now. Simple enough. Now you've got the choice of 2 back plates for the lock. You've got part number A and part number B. Now part number A is if your cylinder sticks out 3 millimeters or more from the surface of your handle, and part B is if it doesn't stick out that far at all. And you'll look, I'll show you on the other camera. here they are up close. You've got these two parts. On the back of part A, you've just got these little screw terminals, and it will screw on. On the back of part B, it's got 3M sticky tape, so it'll stick flat onto a door or flat onto a handle or something. I need part A, and I specifically bought the Yale lock so as I could use part A. And I'll show you why now, because this fits over the handle just like that. And I use the supplied Allen key to tighten it up. Easy. Now we've got the main lock itself, or the smart lock itself, the SwitchBot Lock Pro, and this should just go straight onto that plate there. Let's have a go. Well, it's on. There are a couple of screw holes on each side and some supplied screws, so I'm going to need to screw that in place to secure it to that backing plate. Okay, that's all secured then, and let me just give it a test. So I lift the handle, turn it to lock it, handle's locked, turn it that way, handle is unlocked. Okay, time to power it on then. Okay, so it's powered on, it's ready to go. Let's see how easy it is to pair. So I've not read the instructions for this. I'm making it up as I go along. So I'm guessing I go to Add Device, and it has detected a Lock Pro nearby. So tap that. Remove the battery isolation tab, already did that. When the indicator light starts flashing blue, it's flashing blue, tap connect. And it needs a firmware upgrade. Do I make you sit around and watch it do that? Didn't actually take that long to do the firmware upgrade. So now I need to give it a name. I'm going to call it front door, and I'm going to add a room because this is in the hall. Next, added successfully. I'm going to enable the cloud services because I have a hub, but I'll talk about that later. I'm supposed to install it. Already installed. I've forgotten something. There's this little sensor. Have a look at that. This little sensor needs to stick on the door frame so as the lock knows whether the door is opened or closed. So let me fit that now. Test locking. Your SwitchBot Lock Pro was successfully calibrated. Yay! So from the outside, this looks nothing like a smart lock, which is kind of the idea. You've got your regular Yale cylinder there, so you can open the door using your key if you want to. But one of the coolest features of this SwitchBot Smart Lock Pro is this. This is a fingerprint reader, a keypad, and like an NFC key card reader as well. So I just need to attach this somewhere nearby, and I'm thinking about here. So as we can unlock the door by turning up and putting our thumbs on it, or whichever fingers we've registered. And clip that over like that. It detects a keypad touch. That's good. Make sure your device has batteries installed. Long press lock and OK simultaneously for 2 seconds. 1, 2. Tap next when the green indicator light flashes. Keypad touch, not in any room. Pair it with front door. So it's giving me a test code that I have to type in. 008 and then OK. The lock beeped and the keypad beeped. Keypad touch, fingerprint. This is the bit I want to do. This is the bit I've been looking forward to. Tap plus to add a permanent fingerprint. Please set a permanent passcode first. Okay, I'm back. I've added a permanent passcode and I'm going to add my own fingerprint. So tap on plus, add a permanent fingerprint. Start adding, wait for the green light on your device to light up, then put your finger on the fingerprint zone and press. So start adding. Door is locked, thumb is ready, push, hold, says it's unlocking. Door is unlocked, in I can go. Right, let's test it with a rogue fingerprint. Mini geeks here. Door is locked. Can you get in? Rejected. Okay, so when you buy the Lock Pro, you really should also get one of the SwitchBot hubs as well. Either the SwitchBot Hub 2 or the new version of the Hub Mini, which are both Matter compatible. If you don't get the hub, then the lock will still work, but you'll be limited to using it only when you're within Bluetooth range of it, so about 10 meters or so. If security is a primary concern for you, then that might be what you want, but I personally think that the extra benefits provided by the hub is worth it. Even if you associate the lock with the hub, you can still disable the cloud functionality if you don't want that feature, but leave Matter enabled so the hub can talk locally to something like Home Assistant, and your smart controls are kept fully local. You also saw during the installation that I fitted a keypad outside with a fingerprint reader. You can actually get a bundle which includes the Lock Pro, the latest Hub Mini and the fingerprint keypad, so I'll put a link to that in the description, because it's this keypad that makes this smart lock even better. So not only is the lock super easy to install, but with this keypad you can really easily give your visitors a temporary code so as they can let themselves in. So no need to give them a key or forget to ask for it back afterwards. And if you've got kids, then you'll know that losing keys can be a regular problem. So just give them their own code or set them up on the fingerprint reader and they can let themselves in with no worries about losing keys. And if you give everyone their own code, then the logs in the SwitchBot app will even tell you who unlocked the door based on the code or the fingerprint that was used. The lock comes with an NFC card too, which you can tap on the keypad to unlock. You can buy more of these if you want, but personally I don't think I'll be using it. If I've got to carry something physical around with me, then I'll carry the actual key. I guess if you have one of those fancy wallets that only holds credit cards, then you can keep the card in there because it's the same size. The lock itself is powered by 4 standard AA batteries that last up to 9 months. Obviously I haven't had the lock for that long yet, so time will tell, but it's just standard AA batteries that you can get everywhere. SwitchBot will also be selling a rechargeable battery pack option that is split in two, so you can take one half out to charge but leave the other one in so the lock still works. They've really put a lot of thought into this product. So other features then include being able to press the button on the front of it to lock or unlock with one touch. You can also turn the dial manually to do the same if you want. You can enable an auto lock so it will automatically lock itself after you've come in and closed the door. Personally, I don't like that idea because someone's going to end up locking themselves out and I'll be in trouble. The keypad can also have an emergency fingerprint or passcode registered with it, so if you use that code or fingerprint then it would still unlock, but it would send a distress alert to a nominated family member to say that you're in trouble. And of course you can use all of the usual smart services like Alexa, Google Assistant and Siri. Just make sure you set a voice pin so as people can't unlock your door by shouting through your letterbox. And connection to Home Assistant is easy, like the easiest thing ever. If you've already got the Matter integration enabled in Home Assistant and you have already connected a SwitchBot hub to Home Assistant using Matter, then the simple action of adding the lock to your list of secondary Matter devices in the SwitchBot app means that the lock automatically appears in Home Assistant. I have a few lock-based automations set up in Home Assistant, and probably the most useful one to me is the one that sends me a notification if I've left home and not locked the door. This works by detecting my location, which is actually the location of my phone. If I'm away from home for at least 60 seconds, then a notification is sent to my phone. The 60-second delay is just to be certain that I've actually left home and there's not just been some sort of GPS blip, which does happen sometimes. I deleted my old smart lock from Home Assistant, gave this new lock the same entity ID, and all of my existing automations carried on working like nothing had changed. This was basically the easiest setup I've ever had in Home Assistant. Now, the old version of the SwitchBot lock can actually connect directly to Home Assistant using Bluetooth. At the time of putting this video together though, the Lock Pro isn't supported, but as far as I can tell there's no reason why it won't work. We're just waiting for the developers to add it. With previous new SwitchBot devices, that has normally taken a few weeks, so fingers crossed we'll see that very soon. So are there any issues with it then? Well, this lock is huge. I mean, it's a great big chunk of a device. I think the use of AA batteries means that it needs to be a certain size just to fit those in. And because it's so large, it stands out a lot. It's highly visible and it's bolted to your front door, and it might not be to everyone's taste. It's currently also only available in black, so it's not like it can blend in against a white door either. Anyway, those are just minor issues on what is otherwise an amazing smart lock. If you're interested in getting this lock, then I'll put some links down in the description. I highly recommend the bundle with the hub and the keypad, but if you have a Matter enabled SwitchBot hub already, then you can get the other items individually or as a pair without the hub. I just checked the price of that bundle of 3 items and it was £189, which for a smart lock is an absolute bargain. I mean, the very basic Nuki smart lock without the keypad is about that price. These people here are my channel members. Thank you to these guys for supporting the channel. If you'd like to get early access to my videos too, then you can find out more information about how to become a channel member by clicking on the link in the description or pressing the join button under the video. Please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for free to see more of me. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.